Hello. Hello and welcome from Houston, Texas. Andrea Cannon, guitar here. Um, and I'm back with another mini lesson. Last week we talked about, for the last two lessons, we've talked about using the pick and getting a little better result. And today I just want to talk about the two most common right hand styles. One is using the pick, which we've been talking about, and the other one is fingerstyle, or it's also used in classical, so some people call it classical. Anyway, I'd like to talk about building coordination, and so that's the major topic of our lesson today. Building coordination with the right hand, whether you're using the pick or playing fingerstyle. So, first, a promotion, little shameless self promotion. Today, I have a new single dropping on all the platforms, and it's called Ginny's Jig. This is what the art looks like. I know I should be all techie and filling up the screen with my beautiful cover art, but it's Andrea R. Cannon there on all the platforms, and the tune is called Ginny's Jig. And in a couple of weeks, I'll have another one dropping, but I'll talk about that later. And there are a few other things on there, so I hope you'll drop by and have a listen to some of the uploaded music. It's also here on YouTube Music. Yeah. After this lesson is done, rush right over there and have a peek. Okay, so the main thing to remember when it comes to building coordination for anything really is it works best if you start with from big muscles to small muscles. So it wouldn't be, I'm going to pick up this one because I haven't paid much attention to the fingerstyle thing, but if you want to be able to play or that kind of style, you don't start right out doing that kind of style. You start out doing bigger moves. So in the case of fingerstyle, it would be like Raschiato, which is bigger strumming. So pushing your fingers out. And I usually cover up the strings here so I can really push strong. And if you did this for 10 minutes or so, if you did it for 2 minutes, you would already start feeling the burn, like right here. And when it comes to building strength and coordination, if you're feeling a little burn, as they say, feeling the burn, then you're okay. If you have anything like shooting pain and if it persists, then that's an activity you should stop and reevaluate how you're doing it. So covering up the strings and pushing out, so that builds coordination in what we call the opposing muscle group. When you're picking with single strings, your movement is coming towards your body. When you do this, you're using your extensors and they're going away from your body. Okay, I have a question. What other activity could you engage in where your fingers naturally are going like this? The majority, I won't say all, the majority of our movement is towards our body. So in other words, I'm picking up a cup. I'm moving my fingers towards my body to hold the cup. If it's a pencil or any other thing, your fingers are moving towards your body. So if you want to strengthen that muscle group, you're going to have to strengthen the other muscle group. So that's why we do these bigger motions. And then this, when we stop to do this, we've already built some strength. We've already warmed up a little bit, if you want to look at it that way. So that's a way to think of it, getting started with the fingerstyle technique. And then in keeping with the big motions, it's bigger and easier to control moving all 4 of your fingers. So what if you set them all, these 3 on the treble strings and this one on one of the basses? I'm just going to do 4. So I have 4 in a row, and then bring them all in at the same time like this. And again, that's not the most beautiful sound in the world yet. So if you want to practice it this way, then you can practice it lighter or stronger, whatever you feel like you're building. And there is a conversation to be had about nails and nail shape, and if you want to use nails versus finger picks or whatever, but that's not really pertinent right now to being able to strengthen your coordination to be able to do this in the first place. So there's a couple of different ideas for you just to get started, especially pushing outward in rasguados, and then eventually you should vary your patterns. And you can see you're using a arm motion here again, which is building your way towards being able to do more intricate picking patterns. I mean, that's kind of where we're going to get started, is some nice chords. So just pick two and then go back and forth. All right, now let's divert to the pick again for a minute. Get the other guitar. And this is kind of the same idea. You start out with the pick the way we were holding it, and we already talked about doing some on just down, 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 building it with the tempo, and then down and up. And again, it's a bigger movement before you start worrying about, really small and fast passages. You'll want to build it that way. So a way to get that coordination smaller and smaller is by going to shorter and shorter notes. So you're going to start it with, let's say, I'm just going to play on the top 3 strings here. Okay, that's one. Now we're going to do. So that's 2, a down and an up. And if you're starting on the same beat, then you'd want to make it. But as soon as you get to a pattern where you're stumbling or it's not clean all the way, then you've got to slow it down, back off, and develop the coordination a little bit more on the slower and bigger muscles. So, and this can happen with chord patterns like we were doing with this, which is something that gets confusing in the very beginning, is what should I play while I'm learning these chords? And then I'd say keep it simple. That's a bigger move. And then when that's really confident and you're keeping the beat with that, then you speed it up. Or you double it. Okay, and so as that goes better and better for you, you can get to things like being able to mute the strings while you play. Or my assistant is with me again this week. That's Miles. He'll come up and help me sign off at the end. Right? Yeah, not now though. No, now I've still got to talk a little bit more. Not too much longer. All righty. Okay, so I've got a couple of examples over here to show you how they kind of pan out. Now, if you're working on your pick, as we just were, I've got a study like this that is from a book and both of these are like C major chord type things. This is. Now you notice I'm using alternate picking. So you would have to already have built enough coordination to do that cleanly and evenly. And if you feel like you're almost there, just keep it slow. If you feel like you're not there at all, then do all down picks. Now let me switch to the other guitar. Not yet, not yet. And this one, I've got something that's like, so you, like I showed you, put your fingers on the first 3 strings. And this one I'm putting on the 5th string because it starts with the C. So. Now, this is one that I feel like people say is hard. How do you play fingerstyle? I wanted to do it. It seems really difficult. So you've got the concept now. You start with bigger muscles and then you work your way down to smaller ones. So don't try any of this. Until you've built up your strength on that style. So the 2 exercises that I used here came from really beginner books. One's from a Mel Bay book, and honestly, go to half price books in the guitar section and buy some of the, where people were cleaning out their closets, and they've got they've got them there. They're not using anymore. In addition to that, you have many internet options. So I will make some recommendations again in the the stream description, and help you find some stuff you can use. And again, this is a pretty easy build that we talked about today. So I think we'll do a part 2 next week, especially on the fingerstyle. I want to get more involved with the fingerstyle / classical. So for the next few weeks, I think we will build on that. So if you have any questions or comments, let me know. Write in. I hope you can get something out of this. And if not, maybe you know someone you can share it with who can. So Miles is going to take a nap, I guess. So are you ready to sign off? You ready to say bye-bye, everybody? So thanks for visiting. Again, I have been uploading these every Wednesday, and they're all in the live folder on my channel. So please have a peek and see if there's anything there that suits you. And yeah, thanks for checking it out. And I'll be back again next week with another mini lesson on right hand technique. Thanks. See you later.